My name is Carla, and I'm 28 years old. I've always lived in a small town, where everyone knows everyone else. Growing up, I was pretty close with my family. I have a younger brother, Jason, who's 24, and we've always been very different, but still, I looked out for him. He was the rebellious type, always getting into trouble, while I stayed out of the drama and focused on school and work. Right now, I'm working at a local cafe, serving coffee and pastries to the regulars, trying to save enough money to move into my own apartment. Life's been pretty simple for me, nothing too exciting, but I'm content. I don't have many friends outside of work, but I'm okay with that. I've always been the quiet, reserved type. Everything changed when Jason brought home someone new. Her name was Laura, and she was beautiful. Jason had told me he was dating a girl he'd met at a party, but when I met her for the first time, I was surprised at how well she fit into our family. Laura was everything I wasn't: confident, outgoing, and effortlessly charming. The kind of person everyone liked instantly. But there was something about her that didn't sit right with me. It all started on a Sunday afternoon when Jason invited Laura over for dinner. It was just going to be a casual family gathering, nothing fancy. But when she walked into the living room, I immediately felt a strange sense of familiarity. Her smile. The way she laughed at Jason's jokes. Her voice. I knew I had seen her before, but I couldn't place where. We exchanged polite pleasantries, but something about her lingered in my mind. I kept staring at her, trying to remember where I had seen her face. Then, it hit me. Laura looked exactly like someone I had met a few months ago, a woman I had met at a work event. We had only spoken briefly, but there was something about her that stood out. I had no idea why it bothered me so much. Later that evening, while we were cleaning up after dinner, I decided to ask Jason about Laura's past. So, how long have you two been seeing each other? I asked, trying to sound casual. He paused, a bit too long. About 6 months now, he replied. That's nice, I said. Do you know if she has any family nearby? I'd love to meet them someday. Jason looked at me, and there was something in his eyes, a flicker of hesitation. She's not really close with her family, he said quickly, then changed the subject. At the time, I thought nothing of it. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. A few weeks later, Jason and Laura invited me to their housewarming party. I didn't want to go, but I figured it would be a good chance to get to know Laura better. When I arrived, I was immediately struck by how different the place looked from Jason's usual style. It was clean, modern, and stylish. I felt out of place, but I tried to push that feeling aside. As the night wore on, I spent more time observing Laura. The way she talked about her childhood, her old friends, and her family, everything seemed perfect, almost too perfect. I couldn't shake the thought that something wasn't right. But what really set my mind racing was when I overheard a conversation between Jason and one of his friends in the kitchen. I don't know how to tell Carla, Jason said in a low voice. She won't understand. I couldn't help but eavesdrop, even though I knew it wasn't my place. My heart started to race as I tried to make sense of what they were talking about. Was there something I didn't know? Was Jason hiding something from me? When they noticed me standing there, Jason quickly changed the subject. But the uneasy feeling in my stomach only grew stronger. A few days later, everything started to fall apart. I was scrolling through Facebook when I stumbled upon a photo of Laura. It was one of those throwback posts where people share old pictures from their past. But something about this photo stopped me in my tracks. In the picture, Laura was standing with a man and a woman who looked incredibly familiar. They were standing in front of a house that looked just like Jason's, only it wasn't. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The woman in the photo looked exactly like my mom. I froze. I couldn't process what I was looking at. How was this possible? I quickly clicked on the comments and saw that the photo was tagged with the words, "Best family vacation. Thanks, Mom and Dad." My heart started pounding in my chest. My mind was racing as I tried to make sense of everything. The next day, I confronted Jason. "Who is Laura really?" I asked, my voice shaking. "And why do I feel like I've seen her before?" Jason looked at me, his expression unreadable. "Carla, there's something I need to tell you," he said quietly. "You won't like it, but I can't keep it from you anymore. Laura, she's our half-sister." I was speechless. The world around me felt like it was crumbling. "What?" I whispered. "How? How could you not tell me?" Jason explained that our parents had separated years ago, and our dad had remarried. Laura was his daughter from that marriage, but no one ever told me. They had kept it a secret from me for years. My mind was racing, trying to understand how this could happen. How could my own brother be dating our sister? I was angry. I was hurt. How could they keep something like this from me? For years, I had been living under the assumption that I was an only child. And now, I was supposed to accept that my brother was dating someone who, in a twisted way, was family. I went to my room and cried for hours. I couldn't understand why they had kept such an important secret from me. Was I not important enough for them to tell the truth? Was I that unimportant in their lives? The worst part was that I wasn't sure if I could ever look at Laura the same way again. How was I supposed to deal with this? I felt betrayed, not just by Jason, but by my parents for not telling me the truth. As the days went on, I noticed how this revelation affected other people. Mom was devastated. She couldn't believe that our dad had kept Laura's existence hidden for so long. My dad, on the other hand, was silent about the whole thing. I think he knew he had messed up, but he wasn't ready to admit it. Laura, meanwhile, seemed to be in shock herself. I could tell she had no idea that her father had kept her from us. She seemed just as confused and hurt as I was. At the same time, I started to worry about Jason. He had been so excited about his relationship with Laura, but now it felt like everything had changed. Was this relationship even real? Or was it just a mistake that had gone too far? I don't know how things will turn out between me and Laura. I don't know if I can ever see her the same way again. And I'm not sure if I can ever forgive my parents for keeping this secret from me. I still feel a deep sense of betrayal and confusion. But for now, I'm trying to find my way through this mess. I'm taking things one step at a time, trying to rebuild the relationships that have been broken. Maybe, in time, I'll understand why everything happened the way it did. Or maybe I'll never fully understand. But I do know one thing, I didn't know she was my sister-in-law. And now, I have to figure out how to deal with the truth. What do you think? Have you ever been in a situation where a family secret turned your world upside down? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. And if you've ever experienced something similar, please share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your story.